It is mail time. Yay. So, there's no pull tabby thing. I'm doing this one-handed. You'll have to pardon me. We have to use scissors. Maybe. One-handed. Oh, there we go. Say one-handed is not working out for me so well. Rainer, you want to hold this?
Oh, sure thing.
Alright, we got a helper. Yay. Alright, just right here. You can hold it back a little bit. There you go. So this came from Randolph Relic Recovery. He had a giveaway, and it was a little contest. And it just says thanks. There's nothing else in there. Nope, empty. Oops. Anyway, it was actually kind of funny. He had a jar of wheat pennies that he has dug. And then he had war nickels that he had dug. And you needed to take the one and divide it by the other and come up with a guess. And honestly, I couldn't even tell you exactly what my numbers were. But I was not too far off the mark. So, I won a piece of silver. Look at that. It looks like a Morgan dollar. I am so excited. How cool is that?
And it's already in a flip.
Yeah, it's in a flip. 1 troy ounce of fine silver. Look at that. Cool. So Randolph Relic Recovery. If you have not seen his YouTube, check his YouTube channel out. He digs, does metal detecting, finds some pretty cool stuff. So this is the shout out. I received it today. Thank you so much. I hope everybody has a wonderful day. So this weekend on Mother's Day, Saturday, we went to the Wolverine Mine up in the Keweenaw, which is around Calumet, Michigan. And we have native copper all over up there, especially. And so we went digging for copper and copper agates. You can also find greenstones, datolite, all kinds of other cool, gemmy stuff. And then Sunday, we went to Lake Superior. It's a different location, and you get different types of agates and things there. So we went there with my mom on Mother's Day, and these are some of my finds. So here, this is an old mine from the 1800s and the early 1900s. So I did pick up some scrap metal. Not sure what that is. Old tin, some sort. Maybe chew can, I don't know. Got a small nail of some sort, and then these 2 square screws. That one is bent at the end, does not have a head, and this one much shorter and has a head. Pretty cool. So most of these have made my metal detector go off. I need to break this one apart. This definitely has copper in it. I'm not sure how much copper or how, but there's definitely copper in there. Some of these I just picked up because they were kind of neat. I don't know how much you'll be able to tell, maybe in the sunlight. They kind of have like a sparkly green gemmy look to them, and that is epidote. That's all inside these little cavities. That's just kind of pretty and cool. And that's all that is. Hi! And then here, this here is in matrix. So this is the host room. This is a nodule. And this is very large. Obviously, that's my hand. So that's pretty darn big. And then there's another one right here. This is another nodule. And these are actually probably just filled with crystals. This is either calcite or quartz, or there could be a few other things mixed in there. But it It did not make my metal detector go off, so I do not believe these have any copper in them. But that's what those are, and that's what you look for when you're looking for copper agates. So down here, we actually have a couple of nodules that we had found, which there's a couple of them that make my metal detector buzz, but I'd have to cut into them in order to make sure and see if there's actual copper in it. So, but that's what you look for when you're looking for copper agates, just like that. So here we have some other rocks where just they've made my metal detector go off. It may just have this tiny little bit of copper over here. That's it, but I picked them up anyway. Same thing with this one. Obviously a lot of quartzy calcite stuff going on in there, but it was making my detector buzz. It is quite a bit heavier, so there may still be something inside of there. I gotta bust it apart and find out. Let's see, that one over there. Now these are, that's obviously copper in there. That one has a little bit of copper. And this one looks kind of like that one. It's got the green epidote. The only difference is it also has copper mixed in. These are just chunks that you find. Same thing. Metal detector was a buzzing. Definitely got some copper up in here. So don't know what else we'll find, but that's a piece of copper hanging out right there. So it gets mixed in with the rocks at times. Sometimes you don't know until you actually use a metal detector. So these are just pieces of what's called vein copper. And this is the stuff that you find just walking down the side of the roads up there, because they use all the old tailings from the mines to gravel the road. They'll take them, and if they're not crushed enough, they'll crush them up and not pave, but use them to put down on the road after they grade it. So these were some nice hunks of copper that I found. There's another one. Little pieces of some vein copper. So, kind of cool. Definitely neat. This is another fun piece. What I'd like to do is probably soak some of this stuff in iron out and then clean them up a little bit. I tried to do some pieces that I found last summer in hydrochloric acid, and instead what I ended up doing was flash rusting, which honestly looks kind of cool, but it wasn't what my intention was, so I have to figure out a different way to clean the copper. So there's a couple more small pieces of vein copper. These are really thin, not big hunks or anything like that. This one actually has this nodule here, and I was trying to break this nodule out with my rock hammer, and I got all this busted off, this big hunk here, and I was smashing it here trying to break it, and it would not break. And all of a sudden I noticed there was a funky color, and I was smashing copper. This is all copper in here. I was like, oh wait, whoops, I probably shouldn't do that. So yeah, it happens. And then the last piece I wanted to show you guys, this is probably the coolest piece. Looks just like a plain rock, and I had actually taken a rock hammer and broke this whole chunk out, and it was making my metal detector go off real good. And so I was like, ooh, okay, I'm smashing it. And all of a sudden I look after I busted this piece out, and I realized that this is not breaking apart. What's going on? Well, there's copper all through here, and I saw that, but then I noticed this. And I'm like, huh. Well, that is all copper right there. And you can actually, if I can do it one-handed, you can actually take this and bend it. So, and now we're gonna bend it back. That's a big old vein of copper right there, holding them together. So how cool is that? So I can't let that go. That's gotta stay. That's super awesome. All right, and then when we went to Lake Superior, I found some goodies. So I just wanted to show you guys. These are some Lake Superior agates. Now they don't have super hardcore banding in them. These are little hunks of chalcedony, and they do have banding, but it's like you can just barely see in that one here, right here. But, I mean, there is no denying. Oops. And this one has an eye somewhere. Somewhere in there, there's an eye. Oh, right there. See that? That is an eye. So these definitely need to get cleaned up. Those are some good agate finds. This one's a nice little mossy looking thing. And then we got all kinds of other rocks over here. Some are just really cool. There's a lot of agates right here. I'm not sure what this big one is, but something tells me I need to cut this open. So as soon as I get a new saw blade, we are going to cut this one open. I really want to know what's in there. So, same thing with this one. That is very, very much reminiscent of an agate. Not so much right there, though. So I don't know. We'll see. And yeah, just another cool, pretty Rockies. This one looks like a piece of sushi. And it's funny because the outside of the rock doesn't look like a whole lot. But when you look at it inside, that actually has prehnite. Prehnite inside of it. So, find all kinds of goodies. But it is that time of year.